Welcome back. I'm Cory.
And I'm Wallace.
And we're an early retired couple traveling the world. At the moment, we're in Hong Kong.
So if you watched our last video, we came over here from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia for a few days. We've now had dinner with my family last night. We ran a couple of errands this morning after having breakfast at the hotel. And now we are gonna go out, grab some lunch, and we're gonna go explore a little bit more of Hong Kong.
And for if anybody's wondering, with regards to dinner, we went to a Thai restaurant. The only reason I was able to eat confidently was because his family was able to translate for us, because they didn't really speak English. So it's not one I can put on my recommendation list 100%, but the restaurant here does have a buffet and they mark the allergens. It's nothing exciting, but you know that you can eat confidently. Eggs, omelets, stuff like that. So far we're not struggling too hard and we're about to go for lunch.
You know you're in Hong Kong when you see the bamboo scaffolding for construction sites. Our hotel is really convenient. We've got MTR stations just like 100 meters or so away. Basically either that way or that way we can get down to the MTR station, so that's where we're going to go now and take the train over to Hong Kong Island. So what do you think of the train so far here in Hong Kong?
Super easy, super efficient. They're super clean too. It's a lot like any other train system that you've been on, and we're going to show you Central Station, which is huge and kind of blew my mind.
So this is the map of the network, and these are above each door on the train. And you've got the green dot that shows you where you currently are, and then the flashing dot is the next stop. And you've got all these interchange stations to connect to different trains in the network. These trains are huge because we can't see either end of them. Like, you can go all the way down one and go all the way down the other end, and we can't see either end.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
It's definitely a bigger system than I've ever traveled on.
We're currently at Central Station, which is like the main end of the line interchange hub, and it's a massive station. I'm just gonna pan the camera in and show you guys here.
For scale, we'll show you the map. So this is the map that kind of tells you like where to go and stuff. This is Central Station, this orange part here, all of that. And they have like marked exits of A, B, C, D, E, and it goes up to L.
We're there right now, and you know, these are city blocks. So this is like 4 city blocks long, give or take.
Just crazy. It's almost as big as an airport. This mosaic is made out of tiles down at the train station. I can't even get it all the way in frame. It is absolutely gorgeous.
And if you didn't watch our last video, I will reiterate, the easiest way to get around is with the octopus cards, which you can buy at the kiosk at any of the train stations. Or if you have an iPhone, you can use the app, and they're very handy and basically accepted for payment at a lot of stores.
Yeah, you can use it at like convenience stores and stuff like that, and even at some restaurants, from what I understand.
Yeah.
It does make your life a lot easier. You do have to pay in Hong Kong dollars to buy it.
Yeah, but much easier than trying to tap in and out using your credit card, which you can also do if you need to. Just making our way to the restaurant we've chosen today. Typical crowded Hong Kong streets. That is one narrow-ass building here on this really odd intersection that we're currently standing at. We're trying to go that way.
This place is so different than anywhere I've ever been. It's just like tall buildings. It's hard to see like the sun because the buildings get in the way, but it's just hustling and bustling and just a different vibe.
It is. I mean, Singapore was busy, Kuala Lumpur was busy, but Hong Kong's got a different vibe to it. It feels different to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We were talking about, like, we've never been to New York, but we imagine it's very equated to what New York would feel like.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out at some point, but yeah.
But we're going up this alley to get to the restaurant. This is the restaurant that was on the Find Me the Gluten-Free app. It's Middle Eastern.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go check it out. We did not make reservations, and so we got counter seats. So this is our view. This place is loud and chaotic, but it's awesome. So they do have gluten-free clearly marked on the menu, and they have an a la carte menu and a preset menu, but if the preset didn't work for me, he's allowing me to go off the a la carte, which is perfect because it'll be easier for me. Ordering was super easy because it says gluten-free on the menu. I let her know I was gluten-free, but it's a non-issue here, and English is perfect.
And most of the menu was gluten-free naturally anyways, so a lot of options for today.
I would definitely put this on the recommendation list. We'll see how the food is, but it smells amazing in here.
And it did come highly recommended on the Find Me Gluten-Free app, so yeah, high hopes here.
So we got the garlic za'atar labna with fresh vegetables. It looks amazing. Oh, that's like a yogurt with olive oil and herbs.
Yeah, no, it looks fantastic, looks fresh, so yeah, we'll dig into it. So this is the crispy falafel. Beautiful flat plating. I'm not sure what this green is. Oh, there's like toasted pine nuts or something. Nope, what is that? Oh, that's like garlicky and peppery. There's pine nuts in there. Parsley. I'm not really sure. It's really spicy and like delicious. The falafel patty is crispy. Yeah, it's pretty good.
And it is gluten-free, so I am enjoying this as well.
Yeah, that's delicious.
That is so amazing. With the falafel, you eat it all together. We're just talking to the chef. It's out of this world. The flavors I can't even describe. It's just amazing.
That is the golden spiced cauliflower. It's covered in some spices and roasted, and then it's got this cool yogurty, herby sauce underneath of it, some raisins, and I think some pickled onion. Again, really tasty, really flavorful. I couldn't even begin to tell you what the spices are, but that's really delicious.
It's gluten-free as well.
So this is the saffron chicken, and it looks incredible, and smells incredible. That's beautifully grilled. It's this rich, almost creamy saffron sauce that's all over it. And then there's like a yogurty based sauce as well for it. I'm not entirely sure what that is. That's delicious and has a lot of flavor.
We just finished our meal at Fuda. Highly recommended. Felt super comfortable. The menu is 90% gluten-free, so you're not going to have any problems finding vegetarian, gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free. What do you think?
No, it was great food. We ended up chatting with the chef because we were sitting at the counter, and he is originally from Iran, worked in Oman, and then ended up moving here to work for this restaurant owner. So it's very authentic Middle Eastern food, top-notch quality, top-notch service, really friendly. So we definitely would come back here. In fact, we likely will come back here. Only thing is, it's not cheap. You know, that was definitely one of the more expensive meals we've had. But again, we're in Hong Kong, so that is to be expected. So behind us right now are the central mid-level escalators, and this is a covered escalator system that's the longest in the world. It spans over 800 meters or 2,600 feet and an elevation of 135 meters or 443 feet. And it's basically just a form of transportation that was built in the early 1990s to help people move from central up to the mid-levels area on Hong Kong Island. It also is a big touristy area, especially up at the top. There's lots of restaurants and other things like that. And right now we're just gonna go take the escalator all the way up and probably come all the way back down because there's no other real reason for us to be up there in the first place. But let's take you guys along for the ride. Stick to the right.
The weirdest part about the tram system or the escalators is that it's one way. So you can get all the way up here, but you have to take stairs all the way down. So that makes no sense to me.
So we come up to the top of the escalators and wandered up into this square here where obviously they're prepping for Christmas because it is now the end of November. And you know, these old buildings here, very much with the British colonial style architecture in this whole square here, and then surrounded by skyscrapers and things like that. I was saying just a minute ago that this building behind us has a very British colonial look to it, and that's because it was. Turns out this whole area was the central police station, now decommissioned, and it's all touristy stuff and restaurants and things. But behind us, that building is, or was, the barracks block, built in 1864. And we're gonna go wander through it and have a look at the main police station building.
This definitely gives you prison vibes. This is the entrance to the prison.
Looks like we've got one of the prison blocks here. B Hall is what it's called. You can get a shot of the entrance there. So we're just going to wander through and have a look and see what prison life would have been like. These are pretty small cells. Graffiti by inmates. It looks like a bunk bed and another bed, so.
Shower? Walking around Hong Kong is crazy. No straight lines whatsoever. But we're currently going to we're gonna go to the Victoria Peak tram.
Our next stop today is the Peak tram, which will take us to the top of Victoria Peak. It is middle of the afternoon, and we did not think to do this earlier in the day because now, unfortunately,
Oh, is it
as
after work?
you can see behind me, it is very, very busy. So we're just queuing for tickets right now, but there's a little display here, some of the old tram technology. Got our tickets, and now there's another line to actually get on one of these trams. All right, we got through that lineup, and now this is the last little bit of line here. And we're just waiting for a ride, which is going to come down that track. We're on the tram and waiting for it to fill up and start heading up Victoria Peak.
The camera probably won't do it justice. When we did this last time, I was actually surprised at the incline. So
Yeah,
we'll try the best to show it.
It's going to be steep.
We're just heading up to the Sky Terrace at the moment, and it looks like a good day for views.
Yeah,
So it should be really
beautiful,
pretty.
clear blue skies.
What do you think?
It's a beautiful day for this. Beautiful blue skies. It's really sunny, as you can see from us squinting. But yeah, the view is gorgeous. This is the Sky Terrace. I've never been up here before. This building wasn't open the last time we were in Hong Kong. So it's the highest viewpoint you can get to up here. And yeah, it's pretty beautiful, as you can see.
I think the biggest thing I noticed is the lack of smog. Last time we were up here, you could barely even see the harbor. This time, you can actually almost see like the mountains.
Yeah, it's really clear. Beautiful view.
不要再下架站，那别人快点打啊！谢谢。这里是不能，上面可以，上面可以。如果有需要的在上面啊，这里不能。
저희랑 게 동반자 쓰시는 것 같아요. 水會食咗好，煮成呀暈出咗好嘢啲咁，煮成呀做暈嘅嚟。
直接用这样子不是温泉。
We just came back to the room to change and we're gonna go out and get some dinner. The peak tram was awesome. Highly recommended. You can't come to Hong Kong and not do it.
You mean going up the tram in Victoria Peak? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's pretty iconic to go up there and see that view. And it was a beauty of a day to do it, so no regrets there.
And again, dinner is from the Find Me Gluten-Free app. We're going to an Indian food restaurant and we'll take you along and let you know how it is.
That's different.
We're just at a crosswalk.
Yeah, we're down in Tsim Sha Tsui right now, and it's just Christmassy stuff everywhere. And
I'll pan up. I already did, but I'll show you exactly what we're seeing. Tagline, it's an Indian restaurant, and it was on the Gluten-Free app. We have not made a reservation, so we're gonna see if we get in.
And I don't think this is the entrance. I think we have to go through from inside this mall complex.
And this is Tai Kwun. We just arrived. We didn't make any reservations. We got in. And it seems like they're just opening, and they heard that I had a gluten-free allergy, and then a nutritionist actually came out and took our order and told me what was gluten-free on the menu and what could be gluten-free. I've never had that kind of service. That's amazing.
So I think the reason they have a nutritionist here is these guys have been open for 4 years, but they just moved into this new larger location 3 weeks ago. In fact, their permanent menu isn't even available yet. It was a temporary menu. So I believe that they're still working on that new menu, and that's why there was a nutritionist here actually working tonight. So the manager was the one who, when he was told Cory was gluten-free, went and actually brought the nutritionist to speak to her, which is really kind of cool because you don't usually get that in a restaurant. I mean, we do like to eat well. That's just something. I'm a foodie, so this is just something that we know how to do naturally. We don't go out of our way to pick the best restaurants wherever we go. We do look at reviews and try to find decent restaurants, certainly good value. But today's restaurants were both picked because they're on Find Me Gluten-Free app, And as it turns out, we've picked a couple of winners because Nadu this afternoon for lunch was ranked on TripAdvisor number 318 out of 13,274 restaurants in Hong Kong. Now we're at Tagline this evening for dinner, and Tagline is ranked number 36. So yeah, these are both gonna be pretty good meals, I'm thinking. All right, our food's arrived. So we're gonna try this. We were just having a chat with the owner, who also happens to be a nutritionist. So that's why they have a nutritionist here. She was a nutritionist. Now she opened an Indian restaurant because she loves food. So I'm gonna try. This is a lamb rogan josh, which is lamb cooked in a tomato-based sauce with lots of spices, onions, garlic, and all that. I'm just gonna snag a piece of lamb here. It's very tender. Oh, that's good. And my garlic butter naan, you see, looks great. Very good, very garlicky, buttery, and delicious.
I went with the butter paneer. Let's see. Butter paneer is very similar to butter chicken. It's cooked with paneer instead of chicken. Oh, that is so good. That is so flavorful. It's got tomato creaminess and just so much flavor. So good. And we're just sharing a paneer, basmati rice. So the manager, she said that another table was ordering this. It's a cauliflower dish, and she really wanted me to try it, so she brought me a little bit. So it's cauliflower. She said it was in yogurt with spice, with onion, and then there's vegetarian caviar, which I've never had. I've always wanted to try it, so if you can see it, this is the caviar. She said it was marinated in balsamic vinegar. Oh, that's lovely. I don't know what real caviar tastes like, but that just tastes like balsamic vinegar to me. So let's see. It's just cauliflower. The flavor punch on that is amazing. Like, they know how to do flavors here. That is probably one of the best restaurants that we've had dinner at. What do you think?
Definitely one of the best, if not the best, Indian food meals we've ever had. And we've had a lot of Indian food, and we've eaten at some really good Indian restaurants like Vij's in Vancouver, and that ranked right up there with those. So yeah, very happy. I would say, you know, me personally, yeah, I would come back, and I think you would agree.
I put it on my recommendation list, 100%. If you're celiac or have any other allergies, the manager is the owner is a nutritionist, so she knows her stuff, and she has no problem adapting any dish to you. She was willing to do almost anything for me. So
yeah, I mean, as you saw during our meal, we were chatting with her, and because Cory mentioned, you know, not only being gluten-free but also vegetarian, she insisted on bringing out that cauliflower dish for Cory to try just because they were making a special order for another table. You know, that's, yeah, the kind of restaurant owner you gotta love. So
Yeah.
very happy with that. And I think we're probably gonna come back on this trip. But now we're gonna go head that way across the street and over to the Avenue of Stars. So we just left the Empire Center there, which is where Tagline was, that we just had dinner, and just looked up and seen all the crazy Christmas themed light displays here. And there's more across the street. But for now, we're going that way. So we're walking along the water here on the Kowloon side. That's Victoria Harbour in front of us, and Hong Kong Island and the Central Business District across the water there, which we're heading down that way towards the Avenue of the Stars. And I just want to show you guys, again, more of these Christmas light displays. They are just everywhere right now. Pretty much can't escape all the Christmas stuff at this point. We've found the Bruce Lee statue, and as you can see, it's very popular and very busy here.
Very popular spot. Very impossible to get a photo of.
I managed, but people are just like running in front of you to like get in there and pose in front of the statue, and it's both really ridiculously hilarious and also annoying.
And you were saying you actually saw this statue before they even put it up on this plaque?
Yeah, so it's now sitting, the statue is now mounted on this water featured fountain. When I was in Hong Kong on a previous visit and we were walking along the water here, the statue was sitting right up along the railing and all roped off or cordoned off with metal like barricades, but it hadn't been installed on this fountain yet at that point.
Was it as popular then?
No, it was just kind of sitting there all barricaded off. It wasn't really a thing then, but now you've got, I mean, again, you've got tourists like all over the place here, including us, of course, but it's just kind of funny. So we are now down at the Avenue of Stars, and so this is a waterfront promenade area along Victoria Harbour, again on the Kowloon side, and it's basically modeled after the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So along this avenue there's cement plaques embedded in the rails with handprints of famous Hong Kong film stars and honoring other people in the film industry like directors and that sort of thing. It's just a really pretty area by the waterfront. You've got all the lights of the city across the harbor behind us, and yeah, it's a really pleasant evening to take a stroll.
And you can probably hear the jazz music in the background. That's been going, I don't know where it's coming from, but it's been going for quite a while.
Yeah,
so.
Not sure where that's being piped from. I can't see the speakers because it's pretty dark now, but
it's super, yeah, it's just a different vibe here. I love it.
Yeah, really pretty. And yeah, we're just gonna take a stroll down along the rest of the avenue. We'll show you some of the lights across the harbor. Okay guys, I think we're gonna leave it there for tonight. It's been a long day. We're just gonna walk it's 2.5 kilometers back to our hotel to finish out the night.
And we hope that you enjoy coming along with us on our day in Hong Kong, because we only have a few days here, so we're going to make every day count.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite cities in the world. I mean, I'm a little biased. I was born here, but I do love coming back and visiting, and it's really beautiful, and we had a great day here today.
Yep, I'm not complaining. We got some good eats, we got some good views, and tomorrow
we're gonna have a lot more fun.
Yeah. So
thanks very much for watching, you guys. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up to give us a like, and please feel free to subscribe.
And we hope that you'll come along in our next video for more adventures. Until then, stay curious and keep exploring.